Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 10 Toes Down with Jen. I am happy to be here as always, and I hope that you're happy to be here as well. Listen, everyone, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. So important that you do that so we can stay connected. You'll know when there's a new podcast and you won't miss a beat. So, right now, why don't you just find the link and share that with someone who you know needs some inspiration, motivation, encouragement. Share the link with them. Tell them to join our community because we're a community, friend, and we're growing. Last time we talked about endurance, and I received so much feedback about that. And so many people didn't realize, how they were enduring in life and what they needed to do and how that was going. But endurance really helped us to identify who were our dream killers and who were our dream builders. And so if you haven't listened to endurance, make sure you go back and check endurance out. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Well, today, friends, we're going to talk about another topic. And this particular topic is something that everyone talks about, but maybe in different ways. Everybody might not talk about this specific topic the same way, but in some shape, form, or fashion, everybody is thinking about this. And that's faith. We are talking about faith today, right? And so my theme and my thought process for this year and going into the next calendar year is simply that faith it. I am literally walking by faith. I mean, if faith had a picture in the dictionary, you might see my face next to the word faith in the dictionary. Faith is something that everyone says, oh, I'm walking by faith. Oh, I'm doing that. I'm walking by faith. Yeah, I got it. But do you? When I read my Bible and I go over to the book of James, it talks about how faith without works is dead. So pretty much it speaks for itself. It's telling us that I can have faith, but if I'm not doing anything, then faith alone is non-existent. And so that is something I want to really focus on today. Is your faith existing or is it dead? That's something I need you to think about. Is your faith existing or is it dead? And so when I think about faith, this year for me specifically has been a faith year, right? And so I literally left my job. I felt like that was something that I needed to do. It was something that, my husband and I discussed, and he was just like, yeah, I think you need to leave. Now, let me be clear. I wasn't having severe issues. I was having issues like we all do at our job, right? We oftentimes find ourselves in situations where we're just like, I'm over this place. I want to do something different. I want to leave. I want to get out of here now. And that's where I was partly. And I just felt really disrespected, and I felt like I wasn't appreciated in the work that I was providing to this organization. And with the climate that we live in as a minority woman, I was so over that. And then there was also the major part, like I feel like God was calling me to do ministry full time. And I felt like he was really just saying, like, you need to do this, you need to focus on this. And so I've been faithing it, right? And let me tell you something. That's not an easy place to be. But I understand that I can't get to the next level of life for me if I don't operate in faith, right? Walking by faith is literally saying, I don't know what's going to happen next. I may not even know where to go next or what to do, but I understand I cannot stay where I'm currently at, mentally, emotionally, whatever it is. I cannot be in that space. I have to do something different. And so when we're talking about faithing it, it's important that you recognize that sometimes, God is really requiring us to push further and to do more. And oftentimes, when he's like requiring us to do more, it's not easy because I don't know what I don't know. But what I do know is faith without works is dead. So I'm going to do something. So then I want all of us to start thinking about, like, what are you doing versus what aren't you doing? What could you be doing? Right? So every year we have New Year's resolutions, we have goals, we have all these other things, right? We have all these things that we kind of list and we write down where we want to be in a couple months and things we want to accomplish, like losing weight or getting a new house, finding a maid, all these things. Now, it's one thing to have a list of things, and it's another thing to have a task list of how I'm going to achieve those things. You see, when I have a list of things that I want to do or accomplish, but I don't have like a task list connected to that, then that's the whole like faith without works is dead part. Because I don't have a list of tasks or things that I'm going to do to help me achieve a goal or that goal. Make sense? And so when we're talking about faith, I have to understand faith is two parts. It is my belief system, and it's also my work ethic. It is my belief system, and it's also my work ethic. A lot of people will say they have faith because of the way they believe, but then they have no work ethic. They absolutely don't do anything. They sit there and just say, well, I'm going to pray. Or the new thing I'm hearing people say is, well, I'm just going to manifest. You're not going to do nothing if you don't have a work ethic. If you do not actually try to do something to reach or attain a goal, you will be in the same space, just in a different year. That's the truth. You will be in the same space in a different year. So you have to start to identify, what is it that I'm not doing that I should do? That's the real question. The real question is, what should I be doing? And really digging into that and really owning where you're not and actually getting to the place of realization of where you should be. Now, I know it's like, okay, I understand. In order to faith it, I have to do something. But can we be honest? Oftentimes with faith, we get stuck at start. I mean, we literally get stuck at the beginning and we don't know what to do. We're afraid to do anything. And we're looking for some sort of confirmation or validation or a word from somebody to guide us toward what we need to do. Oftentimes, we are always stuck at start. And for so many of us, that is our stumbling block. It's not anybody else, it's us. It's us not believing in ourselves. It's us wanting God to do it all, and we don't do anything. We just gonna wait for him. I'm gonna pray, and I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna just watch God move. I'm gonna just watch the Lord work. I'm gonna pray, and I'm gonna give this to the Lord, is what we say. I'm gonna give it to God, is what we say. And as we're giving it to God, well, you done gave it to him, left it with him, and went to sleep. You're behind, then gave it to God, literally, and said, okay, God, well, I'm going to leave this with you. Holler at me when you got the next step. That's not how faith works. Faith is you and I making a decision on something that we want to do, okay? And so once you have a decision on something that you want to do, then there are works that have to be applied so that you could reach that. whatever that is, right? So I have to realize I cannot be afraid of the unknown. Now, let me be clear. There are certain circumstances where you should be afraid of the unknown, right? Because God ain't told you to go. He didn't told you to do that. So you out here willy-nilly all on your own. But when we're talking about faith, I mean faith, what is it? Faith is just literally believing in what I do not see. It is believing in what I don't have in my hand. It is literally believing in spite of how everything looks and what it seems. That is faith. Faith is believing that I could achieve the impossible. Faith is believing that the impossible is possible, right? That's faith. And then it is taking that thought, taking that which is in your mind, and then saying, okay, what am I going to do with this? And not just sitting on it and not doing anything, not just being afraid of like, okay, God, I'm waiting on you. Stop saying you're waiting on somebody else. I'm so tired of people telling me they're waiting on God. Why are you're waiting on him for what? No, do something. Literally do something. You want a new house. Look for one. I'm just simply saying, like, you want to be married. Go outside to networking events, right? You want a new car. Look at some, right? You have to understand faith is two parts, and I need you to really understand that. It is your belief system and it is your work ethic, and they have to go together. Faith will not work one-sided. It needs both. So you could have a work ethic and don't believe. I know plenty of people that work 9 to 5, doing what they're doing, going to the job, just hitting it every single day. I was one of those people hitting it every single day, doing everything that I know I needed to do, focusing on everything, getting the tasks done for them, for the company, for the organization, but not walking in enough faith for myself that God would provide and teach me what I need to know so that I can walk in the gifting he's given me. Faith is two parts. The question is, are you lopsided? Are you heavier with one thing than the other? Come on, y'all. We just gotta be honest about this. Stop acting like you got it all together. We don't. We all are a work in progress. And when you realize that, and when you understand that, then every day is a little bit different, because you understand, okay, faith without works is dead. I know what I'm believing God for. What am I going to do so that he can move on my behalf, so that he can show up for me, right? There's a Christian song that says, in the middle of, right? Something like that. My question is, what are you doing so God can show up in the middle of your situation? What are you doing so God can show up in the middle of everything that you're believing for? Stop just saying, oh, I'm giving it to the pastor. Oh, I'm giving it to God. Okay, I hear that. Yes, your pastor can pray for you. Yes, your friends can pray for you. But what are you doing for yourself? And why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Start doing. So many people are always talking about what they're waiting for, and all they're doing is wasting time. You're not waiting, you're wasting time, because you're not doing anything. Nothing. You're not doing anything. And then we get so frustrated because we're like, okay, God, well, why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? Oh, God, I trust you. I believe you. Okay, great. Awesome. All of that might be real and it might be true, but what are you doing? That is the part I need us to focus on today, is the doing part. What are you doing? You want more money, but you're not doing anything to try to get it. You're not doing, it's just like everybody wants God to be like a magician and just pull a rabbit out of the hat. You want God to just be supernatural all the time with no participation from you. You want God to just show up and make things happen for you when some of you don't even acknowledge him. You don't even take the time to acknowledge God. You don't even take the time to acknowledge who he is in your life. But somehow, some way, you want God to just show up for you. I don't think so. So when we realize that faith is two parts, it is my belief system and my work ethic, I have to work equally at both. Both of those things need to be in operation for faith to work, right? Because when I'm believing and I'm working, then my faith, come on here, then God sees my faith and he moves on my behalf. You see that? I'm believing, I'm working towards it. God sees that and moves on my behalf. But he's not going to move for me until I move for him. He's not going to move for me until I move towards him. He's not going to move until I move. There's a secular song that says, I move, you move, just like that. Well, the problem is, it's not like that. It ain't never been like that. Because you're not moving. You're not doing, you're waiting. Don't get stuck at start. Don't get stuck praying and wishing and not adding your work ethic to that. Faith without works is dead. So, how do we ensure that our faith is in operation? How do we ensure that we're moving the needle towards what we believe? How do we ensure that we're working to get things done? How do we ensure that? We ensure that by the way we work. And I need you to understand that when you work, God is going to show up for you. He wants to do things for all of us. But some of us are just lazy. And some of us, if we're honest, we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe that we can. And to some degree, some of us maybe don't even know how to start. Some of us are stuck at start, and some of us are looking at start saying, how do I even begin? I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know how to start, God. I don't even know how to start, right? So some of us may find ourselves in that place, a place of I'm stuck because I'm afraid, I'm stuck because of all these other things. And there are some people that are even further back than that. They're looking at the start. I mean, they're looking at the starting line, just like I want to start. I don't even know how to get to a place called start. Now that's tough. Because you can't even get to start because you don't believe in yourself and no one's ever believed in you. You didn't have people around you saying, I believe in you. Or you had people around you who believed in you and you just didn't believe in you. You didn't believe in yourself. So some of us are stuck at start and some of us are looking at start saying, I don't even know how to get to a place called start because it's too overwhelming, right? Getting to a starting place is overwhelming. It's like, okay, God, I have to start. How do I start? What do I do? And when I get there, it is the nervousness, the anxiety, and the fear of, okay, what if I fail? What do I do? Who do I lean on? Who do I call? But faith is not about having all the answers. It's about having a peace. Ooh, that's good. Faith is not about having all of the answers. It's about having a piece of the puzzle, not the whole puzzle. And with every step you take past the starting point, you receive another piece of the puzzle. With every step you take past the starting point, when you're working towards what you're believing, then you get another piece of the puzzle. And that's how it goes As you step out, you get another piece. As you do something else, you get another piece. But the key is you have to do something. You literally cannot sit down and do nothing. You literally have to get up out of your seat and do something. Because as you take that step and as you move towards, I promise you, God is going to show up because his word is not going to lie. Faith without works is dead. We know that. So if faith has works, it's alive. And now our faith is moving. It's getting God's attention, and God is helping to intercede in the middle of our situations, in the middle of everyday life. He's showing up for us because we did something. Isn't that amazing to know that he's saying, I just need you to do something. Oh my Lord, this is so good. I don't need you to be perfect, but I need you to be pliable. Whew. I don't need you to be a winner. I just need you to have a mindset to win. Because if you have a mindset to win, then God can make you a winner, right? It's all about the way you believe a thing. It's the way you believe in yourself and the way you think about yourself. So don't get stuck at start. No. You don't got time for that. Don't get stuck at start. Let's start working towards our goals. Let's start working to achieve the things in which we said we want to achieve. Let's start working and let's watch what God does. It is never God, it's always us. He's waiting for us. So instead of just sitting there doing nothing, let's go. Let's not be afraid to take a chance. Let's not be afraid to jump out. Let's not be afraid. It's time to faith it. When someone asks you what you're going to do, say, I'm going to faith it. When someone says, how is that bill going to get paid? I'm going to faith it. When someone says to you, how are you going to put food on the table? I'm going to faith it. No matter what obstacle or circumstance you come up with, I need you to tell yourself, I'm going to faith it. I am going to faith it. I'm going to believe, and then I'm going to use my work ethic to do something. And as I put those two things together, God will show up for me. I'm going to faith it. And that's what I need us to do. It's time to faith it. It's time not to be afraid to do something new, to do something different. This is not the time to question, but this is the time to rise up. This is the time to say, okay, I haven't really been operating in faith. I've been just praying, but I haven't been doing anything. And because I haven't been doing anything, my faith has been dead. It's time for faith to wake up in you. It's time for faith to arise in you. It's time for you to think about the dreams you once had as a little child. It's time for you to think about the things that you wanted to do. It's time to go back to the drawing board of all of the ideas and visions you had and know that they yet still can live. It's time for you to rise above the haters and rise above what people say you would never amount to. It's time for you to rise above what you believe about yourself. It's time for you to rise up and faith it. And I'm simply here to tell you, you got it. So dust your shoulders off, put your head back, and make this decision today that I'm going to faith it. And as I take the first step, God will give me a piece, and then I'll take the next step. Don't worry about all the pieces to the puzzle. Just get your first piece by taking your first step. And watch God lead you and guide you along the way. It's time to faith it. Friends, I hope that this is helping you today. I hope that you really understand that faith is two parts, part belief system, part work ethic. And those two things must go together. So what I want you to do is to identify some areas in your life where you need to increase your faith. I want you to write down those things and then make a task list and start working towards that and show God your faith in action. And I promise you, he will show up. He's waiting for you when you think you're waiting for him. It's time to faith it. See you next time. God bless.